top 6 stunning vintage adult stars' career started in early 1970s. Constance Money, born Susan Jensen on the 30th of November 1956, in Lebanon, Pennsylvania, became one of the most enigmatic stars of the golden age of adult cinema. Her career began with an extraordinary debut in the opening of Misty Beethoven, 1976, directed by Radley Metzger. Before acting, Jensen was a cheerleader and straight-A student at Inglemoor High School, graduating in 1972. Metzger was also responsible for giving Susan Jensen the stage name Constance Money. Despite rumors, the name was not inspired by her supposedly asking him for money. This was later clarified in Metzger's commentary for the film's DVD release. The acclaimed film quickly established her as a rising star, thanks to her fresh, girl-next-door appearance and confident screen presence. She followed it with Mary Mary, 1977, and several other productions, making only 8 films before leaving the industry. She briefly returned for A Taste of Money, 1983, before retiring permanently. Money was inducted into the AVN Hall of Fame in 1998 and the XRCO Hall of Fame as a film pioneer in 2016. She reportedly dated Warren Beatty, had a son in the 1980s, and was later linked to an air freight business in Alaska. Serena Blaquelord, born Serena Robinson on the 20th of February 1951, was an American actress and model whose career stretched from the early 1970s through the late 1980s. She spent part of her childhood in Hawaii, where she studied dance and voice before running away from home as a teenager and eventually settling in Los Angeles. She initially worked as a waitress before being discovered and beginning a career as a model, appearing in magazines including Hustler, High Society, and Gallery. Serena became a recognizable figure of the golden age with strawberry blonde hair, appearing in numerous films and working alongside performers such as Jamie Gillis, with whom she had a relationship in the late 1970s. She was briefly married to Thomas Blaquelord, and they had a daughter, Lucy Sky Diamond, in 1977. After leaving the industry, Serena pursued a career as an erotic artist in the San Francisco Bay Area. Marlene Willoughby, born the 17th of May, 1948, in Detroit, Michigan, is an American actress, model, and former performer who became known during the golden age of cinema. Of Polish and Italian descent, she was raised Catholic and played the organ at church services and funerals during her youth. She moved with her mother to New York City in 1961, where she became involved in experimental off-Broadway theater, appearing in productions including Che, Dracula Sabbat, and Keepers of the Hippo Horn. She also worked as a model before entering adult filmmaking in 1975. Willoughby appeared in notable films such as Sunny, Pandora's Mirror, and Foxtrot, while also securing smaller roles in mainstream films and television. She wrote columns for Pub, Velvet, and High Society, modeled for magazines including Penthouse and Sherry, organized film release events, and became an outspoken advocate for the industry. She was also one of the first performer to operate her own fan club and was known for frequently handling her own wardrobe, hair, and makeup. Willoughby retired from industry in 1985. Bonnie Holiday, born the 24th of September 1952, was an American actress and exotic dancer whose career was primarily active during the 1970s. She began working in San Francisco, appearing in short 16mm and Super 8 productions, while earning a living as a featured dancer. During this period, she met Annette Haven and helped introduce her to the industry. Holiday, Haven, and Holiday's husband later lived together in a ménage à trois relationship for approximately 2.5 years, which eventually ended because of tensions surrounding Haven's closeness with Holiday's husband. The two women continued working together afterward, appearing in films including Seven, Into Snowy, Champagne for Breakfast, and Desires Within Young Girls. Although Holiday worked steadily throughout the decade, she never achieved Haven's level of fame. She ultimately retired from the industry in 1980, leaving behind a distinctive place in Golden Age film history. Veri Knotty, born in 1946, was an American performer who grew up in Nashville, Tennessee. She reportedly left home at 13 and supported herself independently before moving to New York City in the mid-1960s. There, she worked as a Playboy bunny, go-go dancer, and featured dancer. During the 1970s, director Carter Stevens discovered her and helped launch her film career. She also modeled for men's magazines, including Sherry and High Society. Knotty was known for an unusual physical characteristic that reportedly inspired her stage name and several nicknames, including Sally Squareknot and Fanny Wolf. Although her career was relatively brief, she became a distinctive figure of the era. According to Stevens, she later struggled with substance abuse and died from liver failure in the early 1980s. Clair Dia, born Emily Smith on the 25th of February 1948 in Los Angeles, California, was an American actress, director, and producer active during the 1970s. Raised in the San Fernando Valley, she initially studied occupational therapy at City College in San Francisco before pursuing filmmaking at the Berkeley Film Institute. After working as a secretary, Dia made her feature film debut in What About Jane, an erotic soap opera, 1972. She subsequently appeared in more than 20 productions, including Naked Afternoon, Desires Within Young Girls, and The Journey of O. Dia also developed her career behind the camera, directing projects such as The Health Spa and Scruples. She occasionally appeared in her own productions, demonstrating her versatility as both a performer and filmmaker.